Hi, I'm Sheri, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about decision making, and it is one of the key elements to leadership. Really, I think it's one of the most important skills of becoming a leader and being able to rise in leadership to serve is being able to make good decisions. And I feel like it's one of the overlooked skills that is not really developed in the traditional educational systems. And the reality is, you don't become a good decision maker without making decisions. So experience is really what's important. What's interesting when you're maybe looking to hire someone or promote someone within your organization is I think one of the key indicators on good decision makers, assuming it's someone who's naturally moving up, the responsibility ladder, is individuals who've had a lot of varied experience. So for example, if they were a shift leader at Chick-fil-A, they were making decisions on a daily basis. And if they were an intern for maybe a legislator, they were making different decisions on a daily basis, or maybe they weren't allowed to make decisions at all. So knowing the type of experience that someone has can give you an indication of the types of decisions that they've had to make in the past. The other thing that's interesting when you interview someone is to ask them how they go about making decisions. And you can get a good indication of whether their style is going to fit within your organization. I'd like to talk a little bit about how your personality impacts your decision making. And especially because in my foundational coaching, we start with the personality and we grow from there. But what's interesting is that once you've gone through your personality assessment and you've gone through your SWOT analysis, you really start honing in on how to make decisions, and decisions become easier. But we do work through a lot of the strategies for different personality types. And there are a lot of different decision-making strategies. So knowing your personality type helps you not get sidetracked into a method that just is not effective for you or creates anxiety or is just not the way you normally operate. And so that's really important to know with decision-making. When it comes to decision-making, there's 4 factors that I'd like to mention that can really impact or limit your ability to make solid decisions. One would be that you're in an echo chamber, meaning that all you hear is one opinion, or whatever you're promoting is always, there's never any adverse opinion, never any alternative opinions brought forward. And almost like the more everyone says it to each other, the more cemented we get in a particular opinion. So it gets harder to see various options when you sit within an echo chamber. The second thing that can affect the guiding of a decision is no guiding document or plan. For example, if you don't have a personal goal that you're moving towards, or your company, this project or this initiative is not moving towards a particular goal, and when decision points come up, it gets harder to choose one way or another because you don't know which way you're actually going. So creating a end point or a midpoint or some sort of a goal that you're moving towards makes it the ability to streamline decisions far easier. The third factor that can affect decision making is to be in a no growth environment. Now, how do you know if you're in a no growth environment? Well, you'll notice that any sort of change is very difficult to enact. There's either resistance at the upper levels, and change is trying to be pushed and there's resistance, or there's change trying to be pushed from the upper levels down and there's resistance. And I call that a no growth environment, because if you're not willing to change, you're not willing to grow. And it makes it very difficult to make decisions in an environment like that. And then the final factor that can make it very difficult for decision making is too many opinions. too many suggestions. And I see this among young green leaders where they go around and they ask everybody what they should do. Oh heck, they even post it on Facebook or LinkedIn sometimes. At some point, you need to take your experience, your feeling within the situation that you're living in at that time, because you know all the nuances that outsiders don't. And then perhaps going to a few trusted few to bring your ideas and what you are deciding to do and let them confirm it or ground truth it for you, is what I say. Have them ask you questions so that you can gain clarity. But I don't think that a whole lot of opinions makes it easier or frankly lends better decisions in the end. If you have people that are thoughtful in their decision making and look at a lot of different perspectives, then you almost have a very solid decision with very little input. If you're one of those leaders, you understand what I mean. Anyway, those are some factors that can really limit you when you're trying to rise in your ability to make good decisions. We'll talk about more in my personal power package. We'll dive into your style as a decision maker, the types of decisions in your current role that you have to make, and maybe some strategies. I have 4 or 5 basic strategies that can be applied in pretty much any situation depending on the time frame. I look forward to working with you. You can reach out if you want more information. I'll be taking 10 clients starting in January.